Are AIPAC's goals shaped by the goals of the Israeli government? And I'm just going to ask you that question straightforwardly. And if you say no, I think we both know that's not true.
Hey, are they shaped by? Is that
Are they coordinating with the Israeli government?
Are they talking with them? Yes.
The
Is Israel
government
directing them? You want to talk about FARA? The law on lobbying on behalf of someone.
Yeah.
It is, I hire you and you lobby on behalf of me.
American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Here's the definition. I'm sure we know the answer anyway. He's just said it. But let's hear from Ted Cruz.
I direct you. Does Israel direct AIPAC? No, they're not lobbying on behalf of them. Or do they care about them? Yes, but...
Do you think that... It's just interesting because what you're now describing in a very defensive way, I will say, is foreign influence over our politics.
No.
And you began, and it's so transparently obvious to everybody. I don't know why you would be embarrassed of it. You've said that you are sincerely for Israel. I believe you. I don't think you have some weird agenda. You seem to be sincere.
By the way, Tucker, it's a very weird thing. The obsession with Israel, when we're talking about foreign countries,
it's hardly an obsession.
You're not talking about Chinese, you're not talking about Japanese, you're not talking about the Brits, you're not talking about the French. The question, what about the Jews? What about the Jews?
Oh, I'm an anti-Semite now.
You tell me, does Tucker look like an anti-Semite? This is the classic defense. How can you pick on the world's only Jewish state? Does anyone say that about Russia when Russia is being criticized? The only Russian state?
Senator, you're asking the questions, Tucker. You're asking, why are the Jews controlling our foreign policy?
Senator,
that's what you just asked.
Hardly saying that. And I have
That is exactly what you just said.
Well, actually, I can speak for myself and tell you what I am saying.
Good.
On behalf not simply of myself, but of my many Jewish friends who would have the same questions.
Oh, I'm not an anti-Semite. I've got loads of Jewish friends.
Which is to what extent, and it's interesting you're trying to derail my questions by calling me an anti-Semite, which you are.
I did not.
Of course you are. And rather than be honorable enough to say it right to my face, you are in a sleazy feline way implying it or just asking questions about the Jews. I'm not asking questions about the Jews. There's nothing to do with Jews or Judaism. It has to do with the foreign government.
Isn't Israel controlling our foreign policy? That's not about the Jews.
You said, I'm asking you.
And by the way, you're the one that just called me, I think, a sleazy feline. So let's be clear.
It's sleazy to imply that I'm an anti-Semite, which you just did.
No, I just said, why is that the only question you're asking? You answer it. Give me another reason. If you're not an anti-Semite, give me another reason why the obsession is Israel.
I am in no sense obsessed with Israel. We are on the brink of war with Iran.
Even if Tucker Carlson was an anti-Semite, or if somebody was critical of Israel because they were an anti-Semite, would that make it okay? Would that make it okay what Israel has done if the people that were criticizing them happened to be anti-Semitic on top of making a correct point? Isn't a stopped clock right twice a day? There will be things that racist people get right, anti-Semitic people get right, homophobic people will get some things correct, won't they? If anti-Semite happened to be calling out Israel for its genocide in Gaza, alleged, then it would be the same as a human rights lawyer calling out Israel for the same reason.
And so these are valid questions.
But you're not asking about Iran or the Ayatollah.
If I can finish, you asked me why I'm obsessed with Israel.
Yep.
3 minutes after telling me that when you first ran for Congress, you elucidated one of your main goals, which is to defend Israel.
Yes.
And I'm the one who's obsessed with Israel. I don't see a lawmaker's job as defending the interests of a foreign government, period. Okay. Any government, including the ones that my ancestors come from. So that's my position. That does not make me an anti-Semite. And shame on you for suggesting otherwise.
And all he could do was laugh. That's Ted Cruz there. Born in Canada, yet somehow he ran for president. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments. But now Tucker is going to hit Ted Cruz with a question, a general knowledge question. And I want you all to have a guess in the comments before you hear the actual answer.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay.
How did you do? Being honest, I thought there was 80 million.
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia.
They're not only Persians. There's a lot of Azeris in the northwest. There's Kurds also in the west. and Arabs in the southwest. Predominantly Shia, he said, but you've also got Sunni Muslims and Baha'i believers and Zoroastrians and Christians. Many different sects in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Not to forget Jews, Jewish Iranians who sit in the parliament, in the Majlis. They have representation.
Okay,
it's not even. You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here, because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied, on behalf of Trump, that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
Israel. High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
We're not doing it. Israel's doing it. Does Israel work for the benefit of America, or does America work for the benefit of Israel? George Galloway did a good piece the other day about the tail not being able to wag the dog. It's quite a good analogy. I suggest you find that video. But what do you think of Tucker Carlson and his criticism of Ted Cruz? And does Tucker Carlson know the population of Israel, since he's so critical of them these days?